Well, I think tall buildings have a place in any growing society. So if you've got rapid expansion, then you don't want to keep going out. Some areas need to go up, and typically where it really works is around transportation hubs, so that you don't end up with a single spire, but actually that you end up with a conglomeration of tall buildings that create interesting urban living potentials, and the densification of people creates opportunities for mixing together, for entertainment, for shopping, for essentially living together. So it can create a very sort of dense urban environment. Oh, that's very interesting. So I'm going to talk today a little bit about product-based building solutions with integrated MEP systems such as radiant heating and radiant cooling that is actually integrated into the structure. So, and I'm going to talk a little bit about timber products and timber opportunities. That again is looking at driving down carbon footprints and actually reducing the amount of materials that go into buildings. So to me, that's one of the key sort of goals from a structural perspective, and I'm a structural engineer. Oh, I don't know, actually. I think every tall building, particularly the super high rise, has a story about it. And really it's only when you understand that story will you get inspired about the problems that have been solved and the challenges that have overcome and the way that buildings connect together. I really love the China Resources building that KPF did, but that's because I was personally involved at the beginning. So tall buildings take a long time from creation or concept to opening. So so China Resources Tower is just opened. Well, I think that you don't have any or many.
No?
And therefore, you know, to some extent, the sort of driver for tall buildings, say in London, was Canary Wharf, and the creation of a new kind of commercial centre to the building that is now being expanded into a new residential centre. So, and that has lots of very tall buildings and medium-rise buildings and low-rise buildings. But when you try and create a single spire, it's very difficult to make that fit well into a medium-rise or a low-rise kind of development. And so I see it being the lack of buildings as the main sort of challenge. You know, well, you're surprised. I've worked in tall buildings for many years, and I see it being both a challenge and an opportunity, and a necessity of any modern city is how to incorporate tall buildings into the landscape. And I think that is the challenge that places like Stockholm have. It will come in eventually, but how do you plan for it to come in an effective way? So I think that the creation, or that countries that are expanding need tall buildings, and it's going to be an essential. It will happen in Stockholm eventually, and the important thing is to plan how it can happen in a way that is helpful to the city to expand and to create the densification that makes for a successful city. So to me it's an inevitability. You can't keep going out forever. You need to combine up and across, and it creates a more vibrant urban culture, and I think all of that are the drivers for tall buildings. Okay.